Are we ready for Marvels?
Yeah. Let's dive into it.
So the Marvels. So obviously all the chuds are attacking this. Oh my god, there's so many vaginas and superheroes in this.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
other than
it's
that,
very annoying. Yeah.
other than that peanut gallery.
And I would like to come here and tell you they are all wrong. They're all fucking they are all fucking stupid. But they are all fucking stupid. This is a great movie.
Well, I mean,
And I can't.
They're dumb.
Yeah, no, they're dumb. Like, I will say, like, pretty much all the reasons I've seen for them giving as to why this movie sucks are just the worst things ever. Because there are reasons why this movie is weak.
Because it's all female leads?
Yeah, it's largely it.
That's some...
Being girl brands now, apparently, according to Chris Gore. We'll be covering some of that tomorrow on the live stream, but yeah, this is a... I guess I'll go ahead and be blunt. I don't hate this, but I don't think I'd recommend it. This feels a bit messy, and I'll just come out and say
it in the sense of like plot and story. Yeah, it felt a bit messy at points.
And I will say, what I strongly suspect after watching this is that like this is a victim of the strikes. I suspect that they had reshoots and rewrites that they need to do that they just didn't do. And, and we ended up with kind of like an early draft of this movie released to cinemas. And it could be worse. Like, go ahead, Bobby.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Like, this definitely seems like a victim of the strike, which, we're probably going to see that with a few newer releases so quickly right after the announcement of the end of it. And this was something that was going, I believe it was like pre or post production around like the start of right before they went on strike.
It was definitely post production, but it just
maybe
feels
they
like
didn't get to do reshoots.
Yeah, it just feels like there's lots of sloppy story elements that aren't incorporated properly. So much of this movie is just going to an event and then explaining the exact mechanics of that event, and then like moving on to the next event and then dropping all the mechanics just introduced and introducing new mechanics to this new event. And nothing really comes together, which is frustrating. Real quick, I don't want to completely pan this though. I want to say our three leads right here, Brie Larson,
all fucking amazing.
Yeah, all three of them are fucking great. I think they are definitely the highlight. There's a couple of dramatic moments between them, especially between Monica and Carol, because Carol's like to go into a bit of the backstory. After Captain Marvel 1, Carol went and destroyed the Supreme Intelligence and got named the Annihilator, and she felt kind of like ashamed, like she was like this like person that probably shouldn't be around Monica, and she kind of isolated herself from Monica, which is why she hasn't been around. And Monica's kind of pissed at her for not being around. So like there's some great dramatic moments between them, and then of course you have Miss Marvel, who's just the huge Captain Marvel fangirl, and there's lots of charm from that. I like the return of like her little hand-drawn animation fan comic things. There's some good character stuff here. In fact, if there was more character stuff here, I'd probably give it a positive, because the little bit of character stuff they have is really fucking good, and the three leads carry it extremely well. Here, Michael Richardson. It sounds like we're about the same, except you probably liked it a bit more. I'd recommend it. A bit half-baked and over-edited. It was enjoyable and basically pretty good. Yeah, like I said, I don't quite recommend it, but like it could have been a lot worse. I mean...
Yeah, it absolutely could have been a lot worse. And I still enjoyed this. And yeah, it did seem a bit jumpy in like moving the story along. I kind of felt like the origin of the villain seemed like I had just seen this in a different superhero movie recently. So it's just kind of more of, oh, really? We're going to that well again? Okay.
Well, that's the thing. So this supervillain's also, she's fairly forgettable, honestly. She didn't thrill me. And it's like she's obviously like the new Ronin, and it's like that has potential. She's kind of and I like kind of explaining. So I would say like the most important movies for backstory here. And I would also stress, like, I feel like backstory is important here because they don't really explain much going in. I think, to a degree, Marvel should expect people to be somewhat familiar, but like a little bit of explanations for stuff, I don't think is uncalled for. And they don't really do any. They don't really.
I did notice something about this. Normally, like we'll get like a title card in the beginning.
Yeah.
We didn't get the title card till the end. Like it went right into it. Right after the Marvel's title card and went right into it.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. I was like, okay, so no title card? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do it.
Yeah. I will also add, so there's one thing that honestly, it's probably because they aren't paying their VFX workers enough, but there was
Probably.
a fair amount of sloppy effects here. This isn't the worst, but they could be better. There's lots of stuff that look kind of staged and set up, and I want to stress again, I don't want to dislike this movie, especially considering the reaction to it. This movie is actually becoming the MCU's first flop. And like I said, it'd be nice to come out and say, hey, I love this movie. I don't know what people are talking about. Go watch it. I kind of want to root for the underdog almost at this point. Of course, I don't know. MCU is not much of an underdog, but
yeah, not so much anymore.
Yeah. One flop out of 20 or 25 movies plus doesn't seem like a huge deal. But yeah, I wanted it to be better. That is for damn sure. But yeah, like I said, I think the three actresses have great dramatic moments. It's really nice. I wish there was more for the villain. The villain, a really good villain, might have helped like seal the deal for this for me because she just ended up being kind of really forgettable.
Generic.
She's not Malekith forgettable, but she's up there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like. Because I feel like you do kind of need to watch the backstory for this. The most important stuff to watch for this would probably be so obviously Captain Marvel, WandaVision, Miss Marvel, and the first Guardians of the Galaxy, because that's like some key stuff for the origin of the villain right there.
Well, also you'd probably have to watch Secret Invasion too.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah. I'm not. I won't say no to that one either.
Yeah.
I will say I hate this. I would say I probably overall enjoyed this a bit more than Secret Invasion, simply because the ending of Secret Invasion was just so. And then
kind
this
of
one
draggy.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bobby, where are you at?
Well, I didn't hate it. I didn't like.
Yeah, I didn't either. But
I kind of really enjoyed a lot of Kamala's fangirling out over Captain Marvel. Like that, I found very entertaining and funny because that I found that to be one of the most endearing parts of her character in Miss Marvel. The chemistry with both the actors I really enjoyed. Or all three of them. But yeah, the villain just it felt like it was like just kind of
Yeah. And then I was gonna say a key example I can think of in this movie about how the story feels kind of fucking sloppy. So you remember Goose, who's the cat / Flurkin in this movie. There's this subplot where Flurkin's on the Saber space station, and she's just laying eggs. Funny. Yeah, it was funny, but like she's laying eggs. And then the eggs start destroying the space station, so they have to have the Flurk in order to fit into the escape pods because they don't have enough escape pods. They have to have the Flurkins eat people, and then put the Flurkins in the escape pods, and then get them down and regurgitate them. And my biggest issue with all this is that it doesn't really relate to anything else. It just feels like an absolute side adventure. So it's like. Yeah, it feels like lots of almost like it's like a mini story, but like I feel like for a movie it needs to sync up a lot more.
The Flurkin eggs kind of did come out of nowhere, but the fact that they were kittens and like the line of like, so we're literally hurting cats.
Yeah,
that genuinely got a laugh out of me because like we're like working in the service industry, I've used that term before so many times. So it's just kind of a yes, you are herding cats. That's beautiful.
Samuel, thank you for the super chat. Would the Marvels be Marvel's Good Dinosaur or Cars 2? Good Dinosaur. Good Dinosaur, like Cars 2, I actually think is kind of a bad movie. The only thing that I would say is a plus in that one is that it has Bruce Campbell in the beginning. Good Dinosaur is okay.
Does his car like break down or die? Like horrifically?
Well, he dies. He's the American secret agent at the beginning.
That's marvelous.
Let's see. There was something else I thought I wanted to go into.
Post-credit scene?
Oh yeah, we could talk about post-credit scene for sure. Spoiler, Beast is in this movie.
Kelsey Grammer's Beast.
Yeah. So the movie ends with Monica being presumed dead, but you know we're fairly sure she's not. And yeah, she's in she's in an alternate timeline where she's being watched over by Beast, and her mom is alive, but it's not her mom, and she is binary. And yeah, it does feel like honestly they're setting up for Deadpool kills the Fox universe more. Introduce more Fox universe people, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Again, I don't hate this movie. The reason why the chuds are saying it's bad is bullshit. Like the biggest narrative I keep on seeing is that it's flopping because women are in the leads and this is supposed to be like men's territory or some shit. And I'm like, dude, like Wonder Woman is one of the most successful comic books of all time. Women have led comic books forever. This is the worst argument ever. Thank you, and again for the super chat. Be shoehorned in, foreshadowing Deadpool 3. I don't know if I would necessarily say shoehorned.
No,
because it's a post-credit scene. I mean, I would argue post-credit scenes are pretty much like if you really want to break down our shoehorning shit in just to get you excited for the next stuff. That's just the nature of it. So I guess technically you're right, but like that's exactly where I'd expect some shoehorning. I would say I felt like I almost forgot about this. The Kate Bishop scene real quick at the end before the credits. That felt a little shoehorned, and I thought that should have been another post-credit scene, honestly.
That really should have been the post-credit scene, or maybe even the end credits,
Yeah, they only have a mid-credit scene, so they could have had a post-credit scene of that. Because, like, if you don't know Hawkeye, that Kate Bishop stuff comes out of nowhere. And I'm kind of okay with stuff kind of coming out of nowhere in a mid-credit scene, or post-credit scene, because that's kind of the point. But, like, in the main movie, I feel like you need to set that up quite a bit more. But I guess it's a minor quibble.
I mean, I did appreciate the fact that the first word she said to her was Kate Bishop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like, okay, sorry, and that was
Miss Marvel is totally being the Nick Fury, and I can dig that.
I thought that was funny, and I mean, honestly, when I first saw it, I even said Kate Bishop to myself. And then I was like, all right.
I just remembered why I wanted to go over it. So, the thing they're freaking out about is the planet where they sing. And you want to know my issue with the planet where they sing is? They don't do enough with it. Like, there's like almost no musical numbers here. They do a bit, but
I kind of would have loved to see, like, them giving commands in song during a fight.
Yes.
Like that would have been hilarious.
No, I would have loved like I feel like they kind of cheap out because one of the main guys who Captain Marvel is like engaged to on that planet or betrothed to or whatever, he is bilingual. And I will say I thought that was funny when she started talking to him normally and he starts talking back normally and like Miss Marvel and Monica are like, huh? What? Huh? And Captain Marvel's like, yeah, he's bilingual. He can sing and regular talk. That was funny. But like, I feel like they also kind of use that to kind of cheap out of the whole singing gimmick they just designed. Because after that, it's pretty much just talking. It's like, no, set up this singing gimmick and just let's on this planet just go all in on the singing shit.
If you're gonna, I was here for it, because it seemed really funny. Yeah,
exactly. And it's one of those things where the people are freaking out about. It's like it's a joke. You know, it's a joke, right?
Like there weren't too many people in the theater when I went to go see it. Like, I mean, the photo I sent you, maybe like 2 people other than myself filled that row later, and like maybe 5 behind us and 4 maybe in the rows spread out in front of me. So there wasn't a lot of people, but that part got a laugh from everybody in the theater.
Yeah.
Like the bilingual thing. Yeah.
I mean, I got that was probably the best chuckle I got out of this movie, and there are some cute moments in this movie.
Yeah, there are.
I want to say there was maybe 8 people in my theater. We saw a Saturday matinee, so maybe not prime time, but it is a weekend. So,
well, yes, so I went to a Sunday matinee too. So,
but you know what? Like I said, I don't know if I'd quite recommend this. This isn't doing well, so like I almost want to say I recommend just waiting a couple weeks and seeing it on Disney Plus because
waiting for them.
If you want to talk about actual elements that are affecting box office, the fact this stuff goes on streaming so soon definitely affects the box office. Because if it gets mediocre reviews, people are more likely to just be like, "Oh, I'll just wait for it to come out on streaming, where it'll be streaming in like 2 weeks or whatever." I know lots of people like that.
Because I know Ant-Man and Quantumania came to streaming a lot faster than I thought it would.
Yeah, actually, that movie did quite a bit better than this one did too.
Yeah,
that wasn't close. Is this the worst movie ever? No, not at all. Is it like even necessarily bad? I don't even know if I'd call it necessarily bad. I won't quite recommend it. I got a couple chuckles, but like I don't know. There's definitely better stuff I've seen this year. And it just feels a little like unfinished would be my biggest thing.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me shallow. It's the fucking truth.